You come home from prison, suckers, you got two options. You walking out of there with high heels or you walking out of there as a man. I was sentenced to die. My appeal process was over with. So I don't supposed to be here. You got to go get a dude who done been in them trenches to understand what demon time mean. That mean you don't give a fuck.
Welcome back to 10 Toes Podcast with your man, 8up J. We got something different going on today here with our guy, Chico.
Yes.
How'd you get that name?
Growing up in Miami, Florida, you know, I'm the only one in the family was kind of on my mom's side, light skinned, and they gave me the nickname Chico because on my daddy's side was a little light skinned, and I went by that name in the neighborhood, but my real name, Craig Dean, but I always went by the nickname Chico.
Listen, so guys, this story is going to be a little different than our normal one, but you grew up in the streets, right?
Yes.
Go ahead and explain to everybody, this man right here, hold on, let me just do this real quick. This guy went to prison, you went for 21 years, right?
24.
24 years.
Yes.
What age were you in?
17.
17, and you got out at what?
At 41.
And what's the reason why I'm starting it off this way, because I want people to understand this story is going to be mind-blowing. And what's the only reason why you're home right now?
Because the victim, innocent bystander, was 11 years old, outside playing, and a drive-by shooting came to court and spoke on help, really argued to get me out and fought to get me out.
Wow. I seen a clip, Nelson or a guy over here sent in, and I couldn't even finish watching it. I was like, dude, this is crazy. I got to get him in here. So take us back to where it all started.
Me from Miami, Florida, growing up, raised by my grandma who passed when I was incarcerated. I never been like ever raised by my mom or my dad, anything, because they was on drugs when I was very young. And I grew up in one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in Miami, Overtown. So when we came out, you know how people say you'll be a product of your environment? When we came outside, it ain't nothing but drug dealers everywhere, pimps on the block, and killing. That's all you see. So sooner or later, you're going to end up being a product of your environment. I grew up going to school, playing football, all type of sports. And I just end up, when I was 11, started selling drugs when I was at the age of 11.
Really? So take everybody back to at what age does the streets grab you? As in, like you said, you play football.
Yeah, I was in the sports heavy. And it just like all my homeboys at that age, we all young. Everybody on drugs. I wasn't on drugs, but all them boys was like, we in middle school. Everybody was on coke in middle school. A lot of them was doing drugs because we in the crack era. You got to understand, we going back to the 90s. We in the crack era. So it's drugs, coke everywhere on the street. It's everywhere.
That's crazy because normally young black men, especially back then, they only smoked pot. They wasn't really on the white.
Yeah, they was. They was putting it in the weed. They called it butter. Yeah, lacing it up.
They did do that. I remember that. Because
Yeah.
that's like pretty much like a clean way of smoking crack in a way they call it or something.
It was, they would call it the bump, but that was like a popular thing in Miami for a lot of individuals down here at that time.
So I take it that you were, how should I say this? Why didn't you get on drugs?
Because when my mom was on drugs, on crack, and she slept under the expressway, so my grandma used to always be like, "You want to be like your mama? Come smoke this." It was a cigarette, but she'd be like, "Smoke this cigarette so you could be like your daddy and your mama. Come smoke it. You want to live on this?" And it made me never want to do drugs. I never smoked a cigarette or anything weed ever in my life.
It's funny you say that because the kids that I grew up with, and I was lucky to never get on drugs. And the reason why is they were always 3 or 4 years old. I was the youngest in my neighborhood. So I got to see what the damages it did time I got to the age where the guys my age were doing drugs. Yeah. So I was always looked at like, yeah, no, I'm good. I seen what it did to them boys over there already. And see, the guys I grew up with at my age didn't get to see that. Luckily, I came from a neighborhood where everybody was 3 or 4 years older than me, and I already seen the downfall to it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing. Now, what age did you start wanting to, get in the game?
When I was outside playing in the neighborhood, one of the drug dealers ended up going to jail, and one of the OGs in the neighborhood was like, "Hey, little homie, you can watch out for him. I'm gonna give you something." We out there playing football in the street, so it ain't nothing to let them know the police riding up and down. And then I'm out there like 30 minutes. He pull up and give me $100. I'm like, I'm out here tomorrow. I'm coming back tomorrow. And that was the beginning, from selling drugs. I'm 11 years old. I don't have a mom and a dad to tell me I got to be in the house. My grandma was up in age. Great lady, did the best she can, but I could do whatever I want at the age 11. I'm in the streets.
So your neighborhood protected you?
Yes.
So you didn't have to worry about no problems growing up?
No, because I grew up in that neighborhood. So I end up start hanging out with a lot of older individuals. I stopped going to school in the 9th grade. I dropped out of high school in the 9th grade and ended up selling drugs, started selling drugs. So, we at that age, we young, so you easily to be influenced by individuals in the neighborhood and doing stuff. So I end up running the dope hole. At that time, they call it lieutenants. So we pick up drugs and drop it off. And I'm like 15 at the time. I'm getting $1,500 a week for doing nothing. At that time. So
That's a lot of money
for us too at that age. But it's a lot of money coming in. We're in the crack era. Ain't nothing but like drugs everywhere, every corner. That's all you're gonna see in Overtown at that time. A lot of homeless individuals living in tents everywhere and drug holes on every corner. Because you got to remember, I'm in the black neighborhood. It's one of the poorest black neighborhoods in Miami. So you got Brooklyn, you got Miami Beach, you got Biscayne. Everybody come in this neighborhood to buy their drugs.
So what was your main buyer?
We ran drug holes like in buildings. Like if you ever watched the movie New Jack City, we had people. You had people out there selling drugs 24. The building ran 24/7. You had watch outs, bomb man's the one who sell a drug, and I just pick up the money and drop off the drugs and keep going. We had crack, weed, and coke.
Your customers mainly older white men?
A lot of white, a lot of black. It was mostly white.
So they weren't nervous coming up in the hood? Everybody took care of them?
They protected.
Because that was the money.
Yeah, they the money. A person hurt a person quick for messing with customers. They well protected. You ain't got if a customer will come up in the neighborhood and be like, hey, somebody just did this, you're going to give them their money back and you're going to give them the drugs for free so they can keep coming.
We just had G on yesterday, and the crazy thing about it is streets are different.
Yes.
Now they're not protected, it seems like. They don't even care. Everybody's for themselves.
Yeah, it's different rules now. When I came up, it was rules like OGs teach you. Like they schooling you to the game, teaching the ropes on what you can do. And it was love. It's like everybody respected everybody. On my era, that was the difference from this era because it ain't no guidance. It's a different drug. When I was home back then, mostly everybody smoked the weed. What weed do? It keep you calm. You can see somebody you beefing with and go to smoking weed and laugh and kill the problem. Now everybody on Molly. What Molly do? It's the opposite. Make you angry. It have you up. Any drug have you up for 4-5 days and no sleep and no eating. It's gonna make you angry. So that's the most powerful. So a lot of the little homies on that, and what they on go mode. You know what I'm saying? They on go mode. Not to cut you off. Actually 2 days ago, somebody was hitting me on Instagram, like calling me. I ain't know the individual. And then I answered the call and he was like, big homie. I'm like, what's up? He was like, big homie, I don't know you, OG, but I done seen your story. I done seen you on different podcasts. I need you to come talk to my nephew. I'm like, what's going on? He say, please, man, come over here and talk to my nephew. We in Opalock. He gave me the address. I ain't going to say their names. I pull up. It sticks everywhere. No lie. It sticks everywhere. It's over 400 rounds in these guns on these blocks. So when I pulled up, the little homies them say, man, homie, we on demon time around here. You can't go get a book and read what demon time mean. You got to go get a dude who done been in them trenches to understand what demon time mean. That mean you don't give a fuck. We don't care. They saying, I'm like, now talk to the bro, well known in Opalaka. And I grabbed him and I told him where I went. Cause I know what that ride is when you hop in that car and don't care. I know what that ride is when you get in that car and you ride cause your homeboys and ain't no turning around. So I hollered at him. I told him I was here. I done been on that demon time. I ran with the devil for years. I know what it's like being on demon time and don't care. So I can't go get a book and tell a person who ain't been on like that and read, hey, come Tell me what he mean when he on demon time. Explain. Let's talk to him. That book ain't gonna help. You got to go get somebody out them trenches, out the streets. So I talked to him. I hugged him. I told him about where I came from, and I told him about my case, my situation. And bro, like he called this other homeboy, was like, hear him out. And I talked all them boys off and letting it go. Whatever the issue was, it wasn't that serious. They let it go. They swashed it. And I talked to him today. He hit me and say, OG, I appreciate it. Because, boy, when you come out of that car, ain't no turning back. You know, that might be the hardest night you ever seen in your life, because it was for me. So I explained, I got them off that edge, and I got them off from doing what they was for to do. It's 400 rounds around here in these AKs. It's a lot of rounds.
How did they accept you when you pulled up?
When
or
I
were
came
you with somebody?
up, no, I came up. I was talking to his uncle, so you know they kind of hostile, but they don't know. He was like, hear him out, and then I grabbed the dude who they listen to. And I told him who I am and where I done been. And once a person here, he did 24 years in prison. That's the end of it. That's OG status. You come home from prison, suckers, you got two options. You walking out of there with high heels, or you walking out of there as a man. You got to handle business. That's respect. That's even when I was in the street hustling. When dude be like, oh, bruh just did 10, it's respect. I don't know him, but I got love for him because there's respect on that. So I did 24 years. I paid my debt. I was in them trenches. I grinded in them trenches. I paid my debt, and I'm on a different side. I was on demon time, so I understand that. I walked with the devil for some years. Now I walk with God, and I want to see what it's like walking with God. The different outcome. This me now walking with God, and so many doors open.
Dude,
so I understand that.
No, I feel the same way. I tell people all the time because people want me to talk to their kids.
Yeah.
And, I didn't do 24 years, but I've been to prison twice. I started out in juvenile, and then I went to the feds, and I ended up on 15. I did 8 because I got the COVID with Trump, and then I got a clemency from Biden.
Oh, okay.
So, I got blessed on my thing. But, the thing is I love helping people. We had Gian yesterday. Instead of telling a story, I wanted him to get in and tell about the backstories, about everything's going on like what you're doing now. But a lot of people understand is, so I did time with somebody, I'm not going to mention his name. We called him Big Rob. He's second command in the GDs out of Chicago.
Yeah.
And I don't know the structure of gangs. I didn't understand it, but he was on a big case. He was doing like 17 years or 20 years. And he doesn't even live in the city.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? You don't live in your city? He goes, nah, dude, I can't even go to my city. You can't run it or nothing. He says, because they call them guppies.
Yeah.
He says they work for me, but they're always trying to take out the head because they want to move up. So the little guppies, he says back in the day that would never happen. He says the feds came in and took the heads out of all the gangs, and that's why the cities are in uproars. They don't have no structure no more. Nobody respects nothing. If they would have left the old heads in and worked with them, they'd been able to control the neighborhoods. But once they took them out, they have no structure no more.
Yeah, it's no structure in the neighborhoods. I agree. I done been where you been. I done had my uncle just recently call me, and the old coon dude was like 50-something, and he felt he ain't had nothing to live for. He wanted to kill himself. I'm on the phone talking to him, crying. And then when he heard my story, dude was like, man, just hearing your story, it make my issue feel like it ain't no problem. But I don't see it. I feel like I'm blessed to be here because I don't supposed to be here. I was sentenced to die. My appeal process was over with. So I don't supposed to be here. So I'm here because God had a different purpose for me. So I stop what I do. I don't care what it is. My phone ring and somebody need me. I'm there. Because I feel like I'm doing a different purpose. You feel me? And I'm doing what God want me to do.
They need more people. And the reason why I say this is because a lot of people say they come out to do good and they don't.
Yeah.
And these young kids will listen. They won't walk away totally.
Yeah.
But if you can change them from going off that cliff one time, they're going to think about the next time like, yeah, I didn't do it last time. And it's not that important.
Yeah.
I mean, think about all these young rappers. They're all dying.
Yeah.
Because of the music. Nothing else. They get in there rapping about it, and all they want to do is do what they do. But to get back on your story, now, in the 90s, when you're seeing people sell dope, so they're running out of trap houses, standing on the corners, you got pimps running around with girls and everything else. In the 90s, people are making money.
Yes.
Like real money. I had G on here yesterday, and I told him, I said, what's the run today? Like, people, you're lucky to get 2 years.
Yeah.
Back then, they would run 7, 8, 10-year runs. Like, they were making real money and sharing it.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine as a kid, how did that grab you? Like, I mean, like that's the whole thing I want people to understand because I was addicted to the lifestyle. That's what had me. It's like a junkie.
Yes, I was addicted to it, to the money. I always was easy. I'm not, for some reason, I was easy to save money, and I'm making like what we was in the building. Anybody from my area in Overtown know it's facts. I had the LTDs, the Lexus, and I'm 16 Chevys with committing $7,000-8,000 paint jobs on it. It's facts. It's everybody who in my neighborhood know it's facts. And everybody in my neighborhood, Overtown was the most violent neighborhood in Miami by far. Because if people was going through it in Opelika, they come to Overtown. It was safe haven. If you was beefing in Liberty City, wherever, Overtown was a safe haven because nobody couldn't come Overtown. Overtown was that violent. So you got me at 15, 16 running a whole block. So that tell you enough because anybody couldn't get no money over town. You had to have respect to earn money, and people gonna challenge you for that respect. They gonna challenge you, and what you do in life sometimes is wars. It's a lot of stuff gonna go down, but you gotta earn that respect. In any neighborhood, I can go in any neighborhood in Overtown, and it was respect. Even when I came home, it was respect. You know what I'm saying? Because I earned that respect. So we making like at 15, 16, 7, 8,000 a shift. And the building don't never close. It's 24 hours a day. And it's just a shift. It's facts.
So what was all the violence about? Were you beefing people in your own neighborhood or other neighborhoods?
It's your own neighborhood because people gonna challenge you. All right. When everybody here and see you doing numbers, the next one gonna come. They want that building. They want that what you got. So it's a war going up breaking out to earn that respect. It don't take too much for a lot of wars because it's so much drugs involved and there's so much money. So if you ain't got respect, people coming to get it. You know what I'm saying? They coming to get what you got because you got to earn your respect. And the only way they're going to respect you is war when you in the streets. That's the only way they're going to respect you.
Now, see, a lot of people think, when they see it, they think that it's other people come trying to take it. But explain to people most of your problems are people that are close to you.
Yeah, homeboys you done growed up with. Like what my situation was people who I growed up with my whole life, and I done been around and hang around. That's where a lot of your enemies mostly always come, is somebody in your circle or somebody you know or somebody you growed up with. It ain't the outside. The outside respect you. It's somebody in your circle.
What do you think the main reason? What is that?
A lot of it be not my situation, but a lot of people's situation be jealousy. Like they want that spotlight.
I've noticed that jealousy, even in prison, was the number one thing. The reason why people turn rat, they snitch, set you up, want to take you out because they want what you got.
Yeah.
And it's been the root of all evil. We were just on a conversation, and I was just telling Nelson and showing pictures. Back when I was hustling, I'd literally dress like a bum. Like, not like a bum, but I would literally have most of my shirts were like free shirts, company shirts from other buddies, like JCPenney, $7.99. I didn't want nobody to know I had money.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be on that level. I didn't want people to be jealous because, like, even to this day, when you show up on a job, I run my own business, and you show up in a too nice of truck, people are like, oh, but like, man, you got too nice of a truck. Apparently, you must be charging too much. And it's like, what? I can't even run a successful business and look good, like show up. So now I'm getting people are saying, no, I don't want you because you have too nice of a vehicle.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? Are you serious? Wouldn't you want a successful guy to be doing your work?
Yeah, because back then we didn't want the spotlight. You could have been the richest dude. You could have made $1 million, had all the money, but he rode in the raggediest car. Nobody don't want that spotlight on that block. But now it's a different era. See, with us, you could say something to me, I'm gonna listen to you. I ain't gonna take it as disrespect. You can talk loud, but I respect you. I ain't gonna take it as disrespect. I can see an older lady coming, we gonna go help her in my era. That's how we was brought up, and that's how the block is. So this era ain't gonna probably help that old lady. And that old lady say something, that old man, I done been, and I know right from I was wild, but I know I done been the older guy done pulled the old pops, pull the shotgun, get from by my house. We look at them like and laugh and keep walking. This new generation ain't gonna take it as that because it's a different era. It's no structure in this era. There's no respect in this era.
What do you think caused that?
I don't know. It's like with the government, like how it is and structured, and you move people that they respect and put people in, like, you just let it go wild. You know what I'm saying? It's no structure in nothing you do. And now the difference from my era in Miami, it wasn't no gangs in Miami.
Mm-mm.
It wasn't, that didn't
It
exist
was
in
all
Miami.
neighborhoods. We
All
talked about it with G.
neighborhoods. Only now it's gangs everywhere. So now it's no structure. It's more violence because now in middle school, you seeing all the little kids in gangs in elementary school now.
I just learned if you're 18 years old in the gang, you're an old head now.
Yeah.
I should do what? This come from a dude that just been in the trenches.
Yeah.
18 years old, you're an old head in the gang now.
Yeah.
These kids are getting into what, 7, 9 years old. It's crazy.
And then, you know, you done been on the inside. I done been on the inside. Like, when you spin that block, it's so, and then you got 1 million cameras on every corner now. Like, when you spin that block, your co-defendant become your worst enemy. The day you dancing with him, the day you vibing with him, tomorrow he gonna be your worst enemy when they got y'all on TV. He gonna be the one working with the state now. And all your homeboys to take you down. Then when you walk across that plank and get off that bluebird, that's the hardest ride you'll ever have. Getting off that bluebird, it's a different environment. It's a different jungle. It's a different lifestyle.
Oh, yeah. So you said at age 14 you were running the block.
Yes.
How do you gain the respect so fast and the control?
I started running with a lot of OGs that was selling weight at the time. They was selling bricks. And they had the respect, and I ran under them. And I started, like, one thing about me, I'm not trying to never be the chief. I'm going to be the Indian. I'm going to follow my role. I ain't crossing nobody. I ain't trying to outshine nobody. I'm going to follow my role, and I'm going to stick to it. And I'm learning the game from you. I'm soaking up everything you telling me. Hey, how I do this? What about this? And, you know, I'm staying in my lane. I always was around older people. I went to jail when I was younger for a gun. And they came to my grandma's house to bum me out. They was like, man, we can't find Chico nowhere in the system. She was like, Chico at juvenile hall. And they was like, what he at juvenile hall for? Chico ain't number 15. And everybody was shocked because I was like before my time. I'm only 15 years old. So everybody thought like, man, I thought he was like 18, 19. But I'm not. You know, I had done, at that time I had a mouth full of goals. When I was 14, I went and dropped 16 goals in my, because that was the era. That was what's popping. Gold teeth in our mouth. You know, and my grandma always said, you know how you the easiest one to be identified. When you open your mouth, they know you're a drug dealer.
It's like riding around in a dunk.
Yes.
You know, you're putting drug dealer all over it.
Yeah.
I want you to explain to people, what was your daily, from the time you woke up to the time you went to bed? What time did you wake up and what time did you go to bed? And what was your daily routine start to finish at 15 years old being a dope boy?
When I wake up in the morning.
Around what time?
I wake up all during the night. It's never, because I'm going to the building, making sure if they needed more drugs, if they needed a re-up. Because a lot of people, you know, they like that fresh bomb, a lot of customers at the time. And when we pull up, get the money, get them dope. I'm back and forward at the house. I'm back and forward coming. And then I end up start buying my own weight and running my own, doing my own thing. Because the guys I was with, they was like, you don't need to keep working for me. You need to get your own and get the block down there and start doing your own thing. You know, you earned that respect. I earned that respect of the block. The whole nigga, I took care of everybody.
So how do you pick out a trap house?
It's neighborhoods we growed up in, so you got to be out of that circle. I'm out of New Jack and Overtown, so you got to be from New Jack to get money in that area. Period. You can't be from another part of Overtown to say you finna get money. It don't go like that. You can't be from Carroll City at that time and come Overtown. I can't go in their neighborhoods. It was just the same way. You know, you got to be off that block, and it ain't easy. You got to earn respect. Like I said, a lot of it come with violence. Of getting that respect, you know, and that game is like, it ain't no different from here than being in Colombia with all these cartels earning and fighting for respect. It's the same thing in Miami. Miami was the most violent thing, and Miami was the most violent neighborhood in Florida was Miami. And you got to remember, the whole Miami Beach was built on drug money.
Oh yeah, it was like over 900 deaths a year in the hike, they said. So you find a spot, okay? You set up. How do you get customers at 15 years old?
You start giving out free samples to everybody. You give it out.
Where at?
The whole neighborhood, you riding up and down, just passing it out. Just give it away for free.
How do you keep a spot without the police? Were they raiding them all the time and kicking the doors in?
Nah, not really, cause you taking over buildings. Like you see a building, that's what it is. You taking over the building, and we in this building right here. So you ain't the police. We ain't in the police eyesight, and I'm out of Dodge now, cause I'm a big dog. So I'm never there, ever in the building. I'm never around in the neighborhood right there around them. And halfly of the time, you don't know the individuals who out there working anyway, because you got lieutenants, and you hire a lieutenant to work for you, and that's his job. Once you structure and put everything together, that's his job to run everything and make sure everything ran organized.
How much drugs do you think you were pushing in your height? Like a day?
I pushed a lot. Probably
Quarter key, half key a day?
a half a brick a day we push.
And you're breaking it down.
Yeah, we breaking it down.
So that's a lot. Like, people don't realize that's a lot. Like, it's easy to push keys when you're pushing
Yeah.
quarters and halves because you're only dealing with a handful of people.
Yes.
But when you're breaking it down that much, because you're probably doing dimes, nickels,
Yeah,
everything.
we were selling everything, nickels, nickel hards, coke at the time, they 20s and 20s and dimes and
So it's all
nickels.
hard.
Yes. No, coke too.
Coke too.
Yeah.
So what age did you learn to whip it up?
When I was 14.
14 years old?
Yeah.
And how did that process? Somebody told you, come in here, young boy, let me show you?
I'm getting, people was getting over on me. Like, you buying drugs and you thinking it's this and it's coming back. Like, they taking stuff out of what you supposed to have, and then the customers don't want it because it's garbage. They saying the drugs garbage, we don't want it. And then so you learning. Like, and then for me, I learned a lot of the game from people who got high. Like, we called them bases at the time, but they was the smartest people because they had everything before they got on crack. So I learned the game from them. And I, like, half when I came on the block, half on all the ones who got high, I treated them just like how I treat anybody else, like a player, because you got to remember, my old girl and my daddy on crack. All my homeboys I ran with, everybody, mama was on crack. So a lot of my peers that was trapping and selling drugs, everybody was like 15, 16, the whole neighborhoods.
That's crazy.
Everybody.
So tell us, like, when did it start getting bad for you? And why?
When more money was coming in. We the spotlight now. So everything on us. So now what's going to happen? They going to come with the challenge. Like, you got to earn this spot. So earning the spot, it start wars. So that's just like going to the cartels in Mexico. So a lot of people would be like, oh, they just violent. Nah, when the drugs was put here, it's automatic going to be violence. Who going to run and who going to stand out. It's like, who got the lion head? You feel me? And the next person, you got the lion head on. So everybody want that lion head you got. You know what I'm saying? They want that block you got because there's too much money coming in. So they want that money. So, it's going to lead to wars.
So, because I'm not familiar with that, because in the white boys, we don't have them issues like that, really. We don't have all the violence in our things. We don't deal with it. We're not on that time. Don't get me wrong. We have problems. In certain neighborhoods, you're going to have that. But people ask me all the time, like, you didn't carry a gun? I'm like, no, I never really carried a gun. Because if I had to carry a gun, I didn't want to deal with you.
Yeah.
And I dealt with a lot of black dudes. I was in the racing industry, so we were racing cars and stuff, so I dealt with dudes in the racing. But I didn't have to deal with the black dudes I dealt with went on that time. They were like you. They were like on that business time.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to deal with no guns or really anything. Don't get me wrong. I would keep a gun in the vehicle just for whatever, because you got crazy people out there. But I never really had to worry about that, holding the block down or doing it like that. White boys run a different, operation.
Yeah, they run. Really, a lot of the white guys was the plugs. You know, so ain't nobody for to cross the plug. You know what I'm saying? That's what's the plug. A lot of white guys was coming in the black neighborhoods, putting guys up. Hey, it's over 30 bricks in his house. Y'all just break me off this, and y'all get this, and dudes going. You feel me? So a lot of white guys, they'll just come in the neighborhood just to buy drugs.
Yeah. So next thing about it, my next question is going to be for people to understand. You're 15 years old still, right? How does a 15-year-old manage mentally? Because I mean, go back to you're 15, a normal 15-year-old. Of course, you wasn't normal.
Yes.
How do you, at 15 years old, controlling a block or a building, and you're answering or like keeping grown ass men from taking you over? Should I say?
Cause you gotta understand at that era, we already growed up in nothing but violence since we was little. Like when you gotta come out the side, you been fighting since you was 5 or 6 years old in this neighborhood. So half of the neighborhood is before their time. In my era, 15-year-olds was driving cars and nobody was going to work because everybody had to provide for their house. Because mostly everybody in my era, mom was on crack and was on the street. So you got 3, 4 siblings in the house, little kids. You got 15-year-olds, 14-year-olds got to go out there and hustle to make sure the little brother and the little sister got money to go to school, got to have clothes and providing. That was what my neighborhood was like.
What are some of the things you had to do at that age to establish your name?
You gotta put in work. You gotta ride.
Can you talk about some of it, or you can't?
I don't really want to get in details about.
Okay.
You know,
Well, that's all I wanted to know. The main thing is that I want the young kids to understand that you made those choices. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And like some of the things you had to do. Do you feel like you had to do them, or you think there
you
was
ain't
another
got
way?
no choice. You ain't got no choice when you selling drugs. You gonna have to. It's gonna be violence when you selling drugs. Period.
One thing I want to ask you a question. With the amount of money that you made, even if you had a little longer run, the amount of time you did, which one paid off? You think staying out, you would have made more money, or the money if you would have done it the right way and staying out, or the amount of money you made in those short time?
I'm gonna say the money you made in the 90s in that short time, you would have made more money, but it was a short lifespan, a very short lifespan.
So you don't think if you would put that same energy and going to school and into a business, because you had the business state of mind,
Yeah.
and you can say whatever you wanted, but drug dealers are probably some of the best businessmen because of what we have to go through.
Yeah.
You don't think you would have been able to grow something big?
I probably was if we'd have been taught that. See, the difference for me, we was mostly raising ourselves. We weren't taught that. You know.
No, I understand that, but for the kids today,
Yes, I tell them now, every day, man, go to school, man, stay in school, be something. Like,
it's not really to stay in school. It's the mindset of go to school and become something.
yeah, be something. I tell them that regularly.
You know, it's like people. These kids need to understand it. Not just to go to school. People want to tell them just go to school. No. How about you go to school because you have to 12th grade, but while you're going to school, figure out your plan.
Plans.
Like, not every black kid can be, Michael Jordan or Emmitt Smith or whatever. Like, you need something realistic more out there. Because you hear all the time, like, I'm going to be a rapper, I'm going to be this. No, how about be an electrician, a plumber, and start your own company, or a trucker? There's so many things that you can do. You can start off, but nobody wants to start off small no more.
Yeah, that's the era, because we so used to social media. Social media telling you this, and that's what I'm seeing on TV, and that's what I want. But you got options now. Kids now, they got Christmas year round. They got everything they want, so there's no way for you to. I done talked to a little kid around about, I think it was about like 16, and I'm like, bro, you got everything. You talking disrespectful to your grandma. You letting these little dudes put it in your head, but you doing wrong, and you a sucker. I can see right through you. You a sucker. You ain't tough at all. You just putting on the front. I done seen too many people walk in that gate where they send you when mama can't save you and put on G-strings, literally in that prison. That's your option. You're going to put on G-strings, or you're going to become an animal. You got to become an animal to survive in prison. I don't care what nobody say. You got to transform into something different to survive in that prison wall.
That's how it was in juvenile.
Yeah.
It was really hard for me because it was majority all black, a couple Latinos, very few whites in juvenile.
Yeah.
It was really bad. And when I came home, I said, I'm never going to do that again, because I had to become somebody I didn't want to do. I caught, I think, 9 more battery charges while I was in. And it was just every time I turned around, I was catching battery charges, going back to the county, going higher levels every time I turn around. And I've watched, and I'm going to be honest with you, when I was in juvenile, 90% of the white boys got turned out.
Yeah.
It was bad. And people don't understand. So I want to talk about the prison part, but what put you in prison?
A shooting took place. A robbery happened, and a shooting took place. And a little girl was outside at the time playing, and she was 11 years old. And a drive-by shooting happened that I participated with and that I did, and she was struck and innocent and was paralyzed from the waist down.
Yeah, I watched the video with the news report thing did on you. Nelson sent it to me, and I got halfway through. I was like, oh my God, I can't watch this. Like, can you explain to people the consequences and what you felt once you realized what happened? Or do you not feel anything right away?
I didn't understand what I did, so it's like not understanding is like not really feeling at the time the damage that you really caused. Cause I'm 17. I'm doing like what the OGs say, let's ride. We can't let certain stuff go. At that time. That's what we think. You know what I'm saying? That's what we being told and taught. So at the time I really ain't understand what I was facing and what really took place. It was like to us was like another day in the neighborhood. You feel me? And it wasn't. It wasn't another day in the neighborhood. That's why I say when you get in that car, everything changed that day. My whole life changed.
So when did you find out that you didn't hit the target and you hit somebody else?
It was everywhere on the news.
How long did it take for them to get you?
About 4 days later, I got arrested. About 4 days later.
How did they go about getting you?
At my aunt's house.
Somebody telling you, or you turn yourself in?
My aunt called down there because it was like everywhere, and they got me from my aunt's house.
So they already know who it was.
Yeah, it was everywhere on the news. Yes.
You know the feeling to this day that you had when you found out. Like, when did it really hit you? Like, the severity of what happened?
When I got arrested and I walked in that county jail, I was like, I never been in the county jail before.
Never been in the county jail after doing all this stuff you were doing?
Nah, I always got away.
What?
I always got away. Just the time I didn't get away. It was like, just the time, it was a bad situation, real bad, but God had a purpose because I was going to be dead. I was going to get killed.
Oh, yeah.
I was definitely going to get killed. And
what's the percentage of people that get, what was the average age of a drug dealer at that era?
Probably 12 years old.
What was the oldest you think? Like, what was the average age of most of them getting killed?
Around 15, 16.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Hasn't really changed today, I don't think.
No, it
It's like the same thing.
Yeah, it's about the same thing.
So, what'd they charge you with?
Attempted, like 4 attempted first-degree murders.
So you go through the process. I assume you went to trial.
Yes, I went to trial.
And how many people cooperated against you?
Everybody.
When you say everybody on your side too?
Yeah.
They all copped a plea.
Yeah, they offered me a 5-year plea to testify on a couple of my friends also, but I ain't take the plea. I went to trial.
How much time did they give you?
Natural life.
They give you the L.
Yeah, they gave me the L. I went
with
to trial.
no parole?
No parole. Sentenced to die in prison.
How did that feel?
Like, it's over. It's like you thinking really because the lawyer's like, oh, it's an appeal process. You'll be back in no time. We'll get you back. They messed up. So I'm thinking, all right, my lawyers, them saying I'll be back in no time. And everybody telling me, man, you'll be back in no time. It's appeal process. And people don't realize that don't work like that.
Mm-mm.
And I want to say something clear to everybody. It's 3 steps. If they give you 30 years, they give you 20 years. It's 3 steps. It's only 3 steps. And I want to make it clear because a lot of people be like, hey, I'm a stepper. And if you get life, you can't do life. It's only one way home for life. And the percentage of giving life back is like going to hit the Powerball for the $100 million. That's the percentage of giving a life sentence back. And that's clear facts. I'm here because of God. And the process is a direct appeal. They precur affirm every direct appeal mostly. They don't give an opinion, so they block you from going to Supreme Court or anywhere if they don't give you an opinion. The second, and the percentage of a direct appeal getting overturned is like 95% against you. you got a 5% chance, and that's not a good odds. And then they got a 38.50 assistant saying you in prison because your lawyer did the horriblest job in the world. And if they grant these motions, it won't be no lawyers. You know, it won't be. So what you think they're gonna grant that? And then the third one is a federal hate. They're gonna hit that so quick, you're gonna go to the feds and say every court did me wrong. And the feds gonna hear your case in a month. And it's over. You gotta do your time. So a person say, well, we can keep fighting. Yeah, you going, and you know what they're gonna tell you? They're gonna send you a motion. Say if the court said if you put another motion in our court, you're going to confinement. That's how I go. I done been in that process where they send you the letter and say, hey, if you put another motion in our court, you're going to confinement. And then the warden them gonna come to you and get you, and you're gonna sign these papers that you're not allowed to file another motion without an attorney ever again in life. So it's a fight of your life. So
Did
people
you sign it?
Yes, you ain't got no choice, so you're going to confinement
For how long? Till you sign it?
till you sign it.
So, okay, so you go to trial. You're found guilty. The guilty verdict didn't hit me.
Yeah.
It was the sentencing
No.
that hit me. Tell the people what it feels like to be found guilty, knowing that it's going to be life.
Yeah.
And then the weight and the feelings of the sentence. Because I'm going to give you an example. So when they called me in my federal case in the feds, I took them to trial. And I'll never forget, we were up like 7 stories, and it's set up like 4 courthouses with elevators in the middle, and the bathroom goes down, you know? So at the end of each hall, each side, there's glass to oversee the city. And I was on the opposite side, and I remember the elevators opening, everybody run into that courtroom. And I knew right then and there they have a verdict. And they came out, oh, they got a verdict, they got a verdict. The feelings that I felt when they said they had a verdict went from I got to shit myself, I got to puke, I can't breathe, my heart hurts next. I couldn't walk because I knew it was a life sentence if I was found guilty. And I tell people all the time, when I was walking in the courtroom, I didn't really see anybody. I couldn't feel anything. I felt like I had concrete on my feet. I was walking funny. My heart was hurting. And I tell the story like I was walking down the aisle. You were probably in custody. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was walking down the aisle, but I wasn't in a wedding because everybody turns to look at you when you walk to them doors. What was your process like?
My process, I was on lockdown, because my case was on the news a lot. And I had 3 hung juries.
3?
Yes, I had 3 hung juries. And 2 hung juries. The third one I was found guilty of.
So they didn't cop a plea deal to you every time you went to trial and you got a hung jury?
Yes, they did. They wanted me to cooperate with testify against my some guys I knew out the neighborhood. They offered me 5 years, so I had done been incarcerated 2.5 years. So they was like, you'll go home in a year and a half, and I ain't do it. I couldn't testify.
So when you're finally found guilty, did it hit you then, or?
Yeah, it hit like it's over. When they said guilty, it was like it's over, you know. And I'm like, I could get the minimum. I could get 20 years. So I'm thinking I could get 20 years because I don't have a lot of I don't have no priors like that, no background like that of being arrested. So my lawyer, we pushing for 20. The judge was like, nah, you showed careless for this neighborhood. You ain't care. You wanted your reputation. You care about your reputation in the neighborhood more than human life. So I'm gonna show you something that I got the power to do. Natural life. And you had never, she said, you look at me in my eyes, you had never walked these streets ever again. That's what I promise you. And gave me natural life.
Explain to the young kids that they're going to watch this what it feels like to be told that, and like to know that you're never going to walk out of a
I
prison.
thought it was over. You know, that's the end. And like you want to give up on life. You want to give up. But you know, you get, and I'm listening to the lawyers like, hey, you'll be back. We'll get you back. And that ain't true. That ain't the facts.
Now, they give you a lot of hope.
Yeah, they give you a
'Cause
lot
they
of
want
hope.
that money.
They give you a lot of hope.
So, okay, so at this point, did you have to face the victims during sentencing or anything like that?
Yes.
How did that feel?
It was crazy. It was, you know, because they embracing their frustration like they supposed to at anybody. You know, at the time, you know, they wanted me to stay in there, and I deserved like they felt like that's anybody at that time. You got to understand the damage you really caused. And it took a while for me to understand like the damage I caused, you know?
Is it because there was so much anger about you getting found guilty and doing life?
What you mean?
A lot of people I hear in prison, like during that whole process and everything else, once they're found guilty and they go to the sentencing thing, they're just numb. They're
Yeah.
angry. You know, they're going to go life. They don't want to hear anything. They don't want to accept nothing of anybody. That they're just literally, once they're found guilty and then it comes to sentencing, because that whole 3 months I had to wait, I was
Yeah.
numb.
Yeah.
I couldn't think once. I mean, when they told me my time, I couldn't even process it.
Yeah. I was stuck when they hit that mallet and she said life. And I asked my lawyer what that mean, life. See, natural life. And then I went back to the cell, and you know they're gonna take you to the psych cell because you got that much time to see the psych doctor. But and they're gonna let you go because because a life sentence you automatic. They don't know if you want to harm yourself or whatever. And then I go back to cell because I got a natural life sentence. I gotta leave immediately to go to prison because you got life. Ain't nothing next. It's death penalty. So I get to South Florida. I was a little dude. You gotta remember, I'm real little. So they want to put me on. They was like, we got to get the warden down here. He gonna have to go to confined because he too little. We cannot put him over there with these grown men. Cause I'm a little dude. I probably was at that time probably like 5'3", 5'4", probably 115 pounds, 20 pounds. So my case heavy on the news everywhere. So when I get over there, a lot of people knew me from the neighborhood and the street. So I had to sign a waiver that I was okay with me going over there, and I didn't want to go on PC, and I wanted to go on a regular compound. So I signed the waiver and went over there. It was a new starter, a new journey, and then once you get there, it's like everybody gonna tell you, period. You gotta transform because it's just reception center. It's bad, but it ain't like when you get to your regular camp because I gotta go to all level 5 prisons. Cause I gotta go to max prisons because I got a natural life sentence. So I only can be at max prisons was like high level. So where I'm at in prison, when I go to my first camp, everybody got life mostly though. Everybody in prison got life. You know,
But would you? I mean, you worked your way down at all, or you stay with lifers?
I can't leave at that time. I can't leave from being around in my whole journey till I got my sentence cut. Cause I got a life sentence, so you a level 5. You only can be at max prisons, max facilities.
Would you rather be around lifers or short timers, like people that are going home after 5-10 years?
I'd rather be around short timers.
Really?
Yeah.
In the feds, I like being around guys that had a lot of time in life because they were more humble.
Nah, cause you gotta go to war around the lifers. You gotta be ready to, and you could. My situation when I gave my time back was different because I could get stuck in here. You got a lot of people coming up with 3 years, 5 years, and they got life. So I ain't want to go to war no more. I was tired of going to war every day. I wanted to go home.
Explain to the people what it was like for somebody small like you when you finally got to your yard.
When I first got in there, my first day in there, it was this dude I'll never forget, big dude. Like off the movie Friday, Debo, big dude. Ain't nobody gonna mess. So yeah, the guy real big, cool dude. I used to vibe with him. That's how I first day in camp. Everybody, this dude's so big, so it's laid back, calm in the dorm. You're like, oh, it's just straight here. It ain't violent as you think right now. You know, till that nightfall hit, and then you got three guys with knives to his neck, talking about pull his pants down. I'm going first. Who after me? Let me go first. Raping him, big dude raping him, you know. And dude looked at me with a knife, and I rolled over like, well, I ain't going out like this. I don't know if I'm next, but they thinking I'm next, but I ain't going out like that. So I felt like the day is time to die. So a couple of guys who came with me, because we knew in the prison system, I talked to a couple of old heads, and I'm like, and they like, man, get your knife. You're gonna be a victim. So you ain't had to tell me but once, you know what I'm saying? So I'm telling the other dudes, they like, let's go to the weight pile. I said, you seen what they just did to this dude? And you talking about going to the weight pile? Is you crazy? And you better go get a knife and protect yourself. And that's why I went to masonry. And it was like, that's what it was. You got to transform and become a different person in prison. I don't care what you did in the free world to survive and not become a lady by force. You got to transform into a different person to survive.
Now in the feds, they're really not taking it. Never really heard a story of that.
Yeah.
There's too much of them and they're giving it.
Yeah.
That want it. So there's plenty of that, to give away. Now, a lot of people are going to say he did something to get that. Is that true?
What you mean?
The big guy that it was getting taken,
Nah,
did he ask for it or did they just size him up and they took it?
That's like, because he was so big, they want to send a message. That's what they feel. Anybody who come off that bus and they feel like they want to turn you out. You got a lot of people, when that bus pull up, that Bluebird, there's a lot of new people coming in. You got a lot of guys lined up on the rec yard talking about, I got this person. I got that one. Let me get this. They arguing on who they get. These dudes to arguing about who they finna go rape. This how bad it is in the state prison.
That's crazy. So how many guys take it and have fight back? What's the percentage?
A lot of some fight back and some don't. Because they the best. They already cons. They scam. So they play under you like they cool with you. And you fall victim. You let your guard down. They'll give you some food. That's some of the biggest thing. They wheel you in with food that they know your money ain't gonna come on. You might have your family, they sending you money, but you just got in the system. It's gonna take them over a month for your money to hit, for you to get cleared in. So they know that. Oh, your money will be on next week. So you don't borrow something that can't be paid back. And you just borrowed $2 that just turned to $100, and it get to the point it can't be paid back. With all this interest, the only way they telling you to pay this back with a blowjob or some ass to pay it back. And these dudes do it. They scared. They do it.
Really? That's wild because you would think majority. So like the guys that fight back, give a description of what you mean by they fight back.
All right. Dudes will stand up for themselves, but it's on how far you go. Because a lot of them fight back and end up giving in. So it's like a dude step to you the wrong way. You should be willing to pop off instantly, like fighting instantly. If you got a knife, you're going to have to defend yourself. Ain't nobody for to sit here and become a lady. You're going to have to stab. You're going to have to hurt. You're going to have to turn into a different person and just go in zone. You're going to go to the hole. You're going to the hole. And then when you get out the hole, you might have to go right back to the hole because he got homeboys and anybody that's down with him want to ride. But this come with the territory. You're going to have to turn into a different person to survive in here. Because you got every type of animal it is. And you in the jungle now. It ain't no zoo no more. You in the jungle, and now you fighting for your life in here. And it was like, I done been in that, fight. I fought 24 hours tired of fighting, honestly. And I wanted to go around individuals that when my time got short and I was around people that had a little bit of time, I ain't got to worry about really knives. I got to have a knife on me 24/7. I got to go ride and hurt another person because the dude trying to do some harm to me because I got canteen. I went to the canteen when I got off the bus when I got re-sentenced. Century dude come and say, hey, you can order me something out the canteen. I'm like, order you something out the canteen? I don't know. You ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? You ain't for to check me at all. You ain't for to step down on me. Ain't no extortion going on. I stood on mine. You know what I'm saying? I stood all 10 toes down and earned respect enough. So dude probably seen me and I just got re-sentenced, whatever. And he's like, hey, what that dude with all the gold in his mouth from Miami? I'm like, what's up, bro? I'm on the toilet taking a dump. Dude come back there and hit me. Bam, bam. We go to fighting right then and there.
Why are you sitting on the shitter?
Yeah, I jump up and go to fighting right then.
You got one pant leg in, one out, or no?
Man, I ain't care about it. It was down. I jumped up, pulled them up, boom, 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 go to fighting. I ran back in the back of the stall, wiped my butt, came back out, and grabbed that lock and salt, and it went down. It's just like, that's what it is. It's the jungle. I had a bunkie when I came back, so I'm back. I'm back. I'm an OG. I done been in prison at this time around about 20-something years. So I tell him, I say, you running with wolves. You a sheep, little homie. I say, and he like, OG, you be trying me how you be telling me this and talking to me. I say, nah, little homie. I say, I can see through you. You the weak link. I say, you ain't notice every one of them dudes you running with in the game. You the only one ain't in the game. And I'm telling you this. I can see, I don't know them, but I can see how they carry themselves. They gonna eat you when they get hungry. Listen to me. Nah, Bunky, I'm a soldier. I said, you ain't got no gun in here. You a sucker. And I'm telling you this from experience. You a good dude. Stop running your mouth in here. You talking too much. And start falling back. You know what I'm saying? Stay in your lane. So, dude stepped to me. And it was like, hey, Cheek, let me holler at y'all. I'm another dude. They like, hey, yo, Bunky, he under your wing. That's your son. I'm like, nah, I don't rock like that, bro. He his own man. So when they mean like this, a son, a June, they paying you for protection in there. Because you got a lot of individuals pay for protection. They got to pay to be in prison. So his money stopped coming in like it once was because he was messing up a lot of money from his family. So now his circle that he was with, they done fell back from him. You can't look out for them boys no more. So I'm in there, we working out. Me and a couple of my homeboys, we working out. And the dude say, Chico, your Bunky out there fighting. I say, fighting? I come out there, he fighting. 2 dudes. They going blow for blow. But the dudes was too big for him. Dude was like, give me them shoes. He took the shoes off. He say, now give me that watch. He took the watch off. I'm looking at him. We just looking. And he say, now get on that stall. You for this suck. Just, you know what I'm saying? So he looked at me. I'm about to go home. And he was like a little kid, like, please help me. Please. So I stopped and I'm like, I'm about to go home. You feel me? I got too much to lose. I got so much game time. So dudes were like, Cheek, don't get in that. I say, man, that man ain't no punk. You know what I'm saying? I say, come over here, and I told you. I say, everybody he came in here and hollered at is the people you ran with. And I told you them niggas was snakes. I told you that. And he came, he said, what I do? I say, you die today. You die. The day to day, you die. Before you go in the stall and let a motherfucker fuck you. You die. You don't motherfucking go back there, volunteer, you die. So I snap. So my homeboys, them snapping now. Too, I said, that man ain't no punk. That man ain't going home gay. And I was about to lose all my game time and everything because I had done changed. I'm a different person. I'm about to go home. So everybody like, Cheek, it ain't worth it for this dude. You losing everything, bro. You finna go home. But I stood up for him, you know. And I told him, bro, you can't be in here how you carrying yourself. You got to get a knife. You're going to have to survive. And he was like, I ain't that type of person. I say, go to PC.
Yep. Go
to PC if you ain't that type of person. Because this is a different vibe game. He say everybody seen what happened, so everybody going to try me. I say, get a knife. You're going to have to. You're going to have to get a knife. If you're trying to survive in here, you go to PC. They going to come get you. Tell them you want to go to protective custody.
So did you go over there and get them and stop it?
Or? I stopped everything because
you just went over there and told them like, whoa.
Nah, I grabbed one of my homies in there, got the knife, and I'm finna back my date up for this dude because they finna rape this dude. You know what I'm saying? He a cool dude, and I'm telling him, bro, you gonna have to stand up for. He finna go back there because he was like, ain't nobody finna help me, and I say, fuck you. I'm like, what you mean nobody finna help you? You die today. The day to day you die. You die. That's all it is. You die today. And then I stood up and like, bro, it ain't going down. They like, you ain't got nothing to do with this. I got a lot to do with this. Y'all picking on the weak. I said, I got shit over there. Come get my shit.
Where was he from?
He was from Daytona. I'm from Miami, and everybody like, you ain't got nothing to do with it. And it's just like, I had to step up for this dude.
What did he end up doing?
He ended up checking in, going to PC. Because I was talking to him like, bro, you all right? He said, I ain't that type of person, man. I'm in here only on drugs. And I'm saying, I understand you in here on drugs. He was like, I only got 3 years, man. I want to go home. I said, you in a different environment now, bro. It don't work like this on this side. You gonna have to get a knife. Ain't no fighting. You could be Mike Tyson. They don't care. You need to get a knife.
I tell people all the time, no matter how tough you are,
Yeah.
if they're tough, they're going to bring 3. If 3 don't work, 4 are coming for you.
4 coming for you.
And they're going to get you. I said, if not, they'll just stab your ass up. They'll slow you down with that poker.
Yeah.
That poker slows you down. Now, what is the consequences of putting that knife on somebody in state?
You're going to go to CM. CM is you're going to go to another facility and you're going to be locked down 24 hours out of the day. You'll come out one time I Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to take the shower for 15 minutes. On Saturday, you'll get an hour yard erect.
Now, that's if you don't unalive them, right?
Yeah, if you don't unlive them.
Now, what is that, 18-month program?
It's different ones. You got CM3 is like a year. CM 2 is like a year and a half. CM 1 is like 3 years.
So how do you get to the higher levels of the more times you stab and you keep going back?
Yeah.
So how many times you been?
I done been to CM twice.
So my cousin, through marriage, somebody I grew up with, the older guys in my group, he runs one of the biggest, or second commander of one of the biggest white supremacy gangs in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
He's a hitman. He's, I guess, over the hitman stuff.
Yeah.
And we don't hear from him for years at a time.
No.
He stays in wherever that lockdown shit is putting work in. And it's just, he's an animal, a straight animal. And I don't know how you survive when you come back out after doing, he's in there for murder.
Yeah.
And he's going to get parole one day. And I don't know how he's going to survive, to be honest with you. Because the stories I hear about the stuff he has to do in there. And a lot of people at the lower camps, I just had a buddy do 15 years. And he was like, yeah, it's pretty bad, but he didn't see all the crazy shit. But people don't understand, it gets down at the bigger camps, the higher levels.
It get down. It's straight war. The helicopter gonna land regular. It land every day. That's an everyday thing. Cause the warden gonna come around to all the people who got power on the pound. That's the gangs. And say, swash I'm not in your business because there's so much drugs and money going on these compounds. See, that's what's running the compound, the drugs.
Mm-hmm.
See, a lot of people be like, how they got drugs? There's more drugs in prison than almost in the streets.
Because they have to have all that for a prison to work right.
Yeah.
If they don't, prisons I think they'd probably be more violent. Yes. You have to have some type of a money structure to be able to have leverage over the inmates. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't understand is that they allow certain things to go on, so the warden has a leverage point.
Yeah.
Because when people have a hustle, they don't want to lose it. They don't want to get it taken away. They don't want to get moved off the compound. They don't want to whatever. So it's like you can control them with that leverage.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing about how you were explaining about this kid, you know how many kids that came on the compound, guys? And like, I'm a white boy with no tattoos, and I started doing time at 15 years old, and I don't get tattoos. I don't run with gangs. And don't get me wrong, it makes my time harder. Yeah. Okay, it does. I don't know if you ran with gangs or if you just ran with the Miami boys.
Yeah, I ran with the Miami people.
So, and I know y'all are pretty deep in the state. So, but you can see a guppy when they come on.
Yeah.
You can see these young kids that come in, think they're tough, and they want to run with them boys, think they're cool. And I sit back and watch it because as soon as I go in, it was always like, hey, man, you want anything? You want this? You want that? And it's like, nah, boo, I'm good. I'm good. No, man, I'm good. Because I learned when I was in juvenile what that did. Because they want to give you something so then they can try to control you.
Yeah.
And I seen it at a very young age. So when I went in, and actually, people were like, well, what do you mean, man? You trying me? Like this, I'm trying to help you out. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm good. I don't need nothing. And I'll be honest with you, when I got arrested, I was in Atlanta. I went to the Fulton County. I was in the bad county jails. I was in maximum security, in the max security block in the county jails with the lifers. And what was so great about it is that they didn't pay attention. I was the only white boy in the dorm most of the time. They didn't pay attention because there were so many gangs, so many boys coming back on writs for their appeals, but they're testifying.
Yeah.
And when they did, it was just nonstop violence. So they kept us on lockdown. So we just stayed on lockdown most of the time. I didn't have to worry. Every time we came off lockdown, boy, it was popping off again. Ping, pong, ping, pong, pong, because somebody was in the unit. I'm like, damn, dude, this is like popcorn city. Every time we come out, just get the popcorn ready. Now, explain to people out of the 24 years and all the craziness, how much time have you done in confinement?
I did one time I did 2.5 years on CM for stabbing. And a lot of stabbings, we ain't got no choice because people stepping down on you, period. And I'm a neutron. So a neutron means I'm not in no gang.
Nope.
I'm on my own. I'm not a game affiliate. So a lot of people come, when they walk in that gate, they got options. Dudes will tell them straight up, go join the gang. Because if you ain't in the game by next week, I'm fucking you. They ain't sugarcoating it. They ain't none of this. They telling you straight up when you get off that bus, hey, go and join your gang. So the gang structure, a lot of people be like, oh, I'm in a gang, but it's more extortion on them. So you gotta pay to be in this game. You gotta when your money come, you gotta put your money in this treasure for these dudes. Like,
And you got to put work in.
yeah,
You
you
got to
gotta put
watch
in work.
out. You got to hold
Yeah,
things, put work
oh,
in.
hold this knife.
Yep.
Be the guinea pig. Hey, you man, I had a roommate for to go home. There's no lie. This dude had like 40 Sundays for to go home. And the dude told him he had an order. He got to go stab this dude up. And I'm like, bruh, this dude died. You finna get a life sentence. And he crying. I'm like, bruh, man, just go check in, bruh, and go home, little bruh. Don't get stuck in here, man.
So how big was y'all's numbers for the non-gang guys?
Miami was the deepest neighborhoods in prison. So we was like 20, 30 people everywhere we went. So we was pretty good. We stuck up for each other, with being from Miami. Broward, Miami, and Palm Beach ran together.
Really? All three counties?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So on your, have you ever been stabbed?
Yes, I have. I got grazed.
So you pretty much put the work in before it got to you.
Yeah, cause you gotta sleep with your boots on. I had them been in so long, so I know what's going on when you get off the bus. And then your reputation in prison gonna travel. Bruh gonna go. Bruh gonna stab son. Bruh ain't going for it. It's gonna travel, because whatever you do, if you mess with homosexuals, that's gonna travel in prison. You can't hide it. It's gonna follow you wherever you go off that bus. When you get off that bus at the next camp, somebody know you. Done been at that camp with you. Where you going? So it travel.
But the dudes that are taking it, I mean, are they getting respected, or are they all run together?
They running together too. You don't respect them. You can't respect them.
But they got this. They got the press game down.
Yeah,
they're doing the press game guys.
Yeah, but we ain't respecting the ones that raping dudes. We ain't respecting them.
Yeah, but they got a press game like no other though. I mean, that's their press game to get it.
They gotta organize. When you get off that bus, say you a white dude, they got a white dude on they circle. They gonna send to you.
Really?
Yeah, they gonna send him to you. He gonna find out if you got money. He gonna befriend you. He gonna find out if you got money. It's called the extortion game. And that dude gonna report he broke. They ain't got time for you. But the one he report, he got money. It's over with for you. Because it's called the extortion game. They're gonna step down and they're gonna extort you. Because that's how they do it. They're gonna send somebody to you.
And boy, they're friendly as a mofo. When they find out, dude, they're your best friend. I watch it from a distance. I'm like, dude, this is so bad. It's not gonna turn out good. So bad. Man, it's a press game like I've never seen before. Such a finesse one.
Yeah. I done had a lady, dude was in our dorm. He was my homeboy Bunky. And she was like, hey, my son, she was a white lady, white dude. She was like, my son said a lot of guys respect you there. I would send you money every week if you can help protect him. Don't let him come home as a lady. I said, he good. You don't have to do that, man. And he's straight. He cool. And she was like, please, I would pay you. Don't let him come home as a lady. He telling me how guys getting raped every day. And I'm like, nah, he all right. He cool. But that's how I go in there. You got to pay for protection. Families pay a lot of inmates in there for protection.
What do you think the average rate is?
Some, it depends. Some got to pay $300 a week. Some pay $500 a week for that protection.
How do they afford that?
Families do it. They don't want their son to come home as a lady. They do it. You got a lot of dress out in the prison with the lipstick and everything. Then when they go to visit and see their family, they're a normal dude. They're a normal person. But when they get back on this side, they dressing back out. They ladies again.
So they're doing it because they got turned out and they just become one?
No choice.
Or they make them dress out?
They make them dress out. You ain't got no choice.
Because they don't put the work in.
Yeah, you ain't got no choice.
What's the percentage of guys in there that get turned out, you think?
Man, it got to be like about 85.
What do you mean as in like lifers?
No, the lifers turning these dudes out, these young dudes coming in there.
So you think 15% actually don't get turned out?
Yeah, because you got to be a real soldier. You got to really join the gang. Because joining the gang, they can't participate in no homosexual acts in the gang.
So outside of the gang members, 85%.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
How many dudes are the takers? What's the percentage of them you think in prison now? And every camp you've been to?
The percentage of the dudes taking, man, is like
Because if it's not the
70%.
gangs, if they're not gang members, then
Man,
what are they just? They got their own group now.
Yeah, they deep. They got a big group. It's a big percentage of them just walk around. They work out all day and plot on individuals to rape. Like I had done so much time, and if you see me, and when you hear, oh, he done 20 some 15, 16 years, you ain't seeing me twist. So it's respect. Cause you know I had to ride. You know I had to stand up for myself. You know I had to put in work. So it's respect.
What would be the first thing or the most important thing to tell somebody if they're watching right now what you should do when you first come on one of them yards?
Not run your mouth. Just be quiet. Stay to yourself. When people approach you, where you from, you don't know me. You be getting money, your people, you need to borrow. You don't need to borrow nothing. You need to keep your mouth closed and stick to your own race.
Yes.
It ain't about no races. It ain't about nothing.
It's not.
You white, but you want to run saying I'm not racist. I'm gonna run with these black dudes.
They're gonna take your ass.
Yeah, you can't run with the Spanish guys and you a white boy. You can't be a black dude and running with the Spanish. It don't run like that. I don't care how cool each one. You gonna run with your own race.
You're gonna live, run, and that's why the feds. I don't know if you heard about the feds. We don't have all them problems you're talking about.
Yeah,
we racially divide instantly, but we all get along. It has nothing to do with hate. It has to do with you take care of your people. Everybody keep order in their people, and then the gangs divide within themselves.
Yeah.
Everything divides. You know, like we don't get on that at time. White boys got their TVs, blacks got theirs, Latinos got theirs. Go to chow hall, same thing. Then the gangs split between the races, you know, in their tables or whatever they do. We don't do none of that stuff, and white boys are riding. I mean, we got our own TVs. I've never been to a yard that don't have white boys don't have TVs, and I hear the state white boys don't have TVs in a lot of places.
But I ain't gonna say all the white boys are like getting put down because you got a lot of gangs. You got a lot of
white
supremacists, unforgivens. Yeah. They ain't like, oh, we just finna go to war against. But nah, ain't. They just they say to be protected. They protecting themselves.
You ever ran into a boy because you were on level 5, Travis Goebel?
I don't know.
A white boy?
I'm not sure.
He stays up in the Panhandle a lot.
Cause I was in the Panhandle most of my whole bed.
Yeah, that's where it's bad at out here.
Yeah, it's a war zone.
He's a war zone guy, dude. He loves the action. Yeah. He's always taking down, doing some crazy shit. Yeah. But the main thing that it boils down to is the fact that I didn't know is just as far as where you came from. I mean, like in the feds, I'd tell people like, yeah, small talk, but just very limited. Don't be disrespectful. Like, yeah, I'm from Florida. Like in the feds, we say what state. But like, yeah, I'm from Florida. And be like, oh, that's your people. Who you run with? Because like if a white boy comes up the compound, you know, depending on the few of us, it's our turn to go to the door. So I'd have to go to the door and be like, okay, so like a couple blacks will show up, a couple Latinos, and some white boys show up, and we grab our people. Like, come on, you good with your paperwork? Yeah. You good? You chomo? You would? No. Okay, you know you got 2 weeks. Get your paperwork in. So come on, we take you because we want the other races to know that we claim you. So nobody wants to take you. So like, come on. Like these white boys talking about they getting pressed up on by other races in the feds. It's a straight lie, dude. We don't allow that to happen. Yeah. It's not happening. And their people are not, other races are not going to let it happen because they don't want war.
Yeah.
So, but in state, I hear there's no organization. See,
it ain't.
When I was in juvenile, there's none. Zilcho. They're called state babies.
Yeah.
And in the state, I don't know how it goes, but I just hear that so many people got life. They screwed their family over. They don't want nothing to do with them, and they're just in there just wilding out.
Yeah. It's hard because after a while, your family gonna stop sending that money. They're gonna stop sending that money, and the food that they serving, it's crazy. I was working in Pride with no problem. I was happy to work in Pride. I was doing tags. I was making 30 cents an hour because like the outside world forgot about you. Everybody gone, so no more calls. Ain't nobody accepting no call. So I was making 30 cents an hour. I was happy to make that 30 cents an hour.
You didn't have no hustles in there?
Nah, I hadn't changed my life. Okay. So I was hustling when I first came. For a while, I was selling drugs and hustling just to survive, you know. And I was surviving. And people will give you money just to say this is drugs, like so they won't get ran down on because you got face, and nobody ain't gonna like come try to step down and take it from you because you got face. And then you know I was doing what I had to do to survive, you know. Yeah, I hustled, you know what I'm saying? But then I gave my life to God, and I started working in Pride for a while. I was dying. I was out the way.
How many guys just give up in there, you think? Or
A lot. I got homeboys said they tired of fighting. They ain't fighting no more. I done seen dudes throw their law work in the trash. Said they done. And then for me too, I never gave up faith, but I ain't think I was going home. I honestly ain't think
Tell
I was
everybody
going
how you
home.
came home.
I had done went to, to the law library. I used to be going to church heavy. I used to be in the law library heavy. I had homeboys, like most of everybody I was around had life sentences. And I go to church with one of my homeboys out of Jacksonville named Arthur Huge. He was the head law clerk there. And we go up there, was a pastor named Holiday. So I get up on my knees, I go up there and I pray while he preaching. And I ask God, I said, because let me clear this up, because I skipped this. I asked my family, can they help me with a lawyer? And that's the only way I could put in a motion, because I'm not allowed to put in a motion myself. And they wrote me back and said, the people ain't never letting you out of there. We're not wasting our money on no lawyer. We'll send you some stamps and some money, but we ain't wasting our money. All us talk, we ain't wasting our money on no lawyer. So that's a hard letter to get from your family. And I had showed it to my homie. He was the head law clerk. He was like, man, I'm gonna try to help you, see if we could do this. And then I go to church and I'm praying and I ask God, I say, God, is there any kind of way I done done everything you asked me? You say separate myself from the crowd. I done separated myself from the crowd. You asked me to give up hustling. I gave up hustling. I done everything. I'm talking to the little homies in here. I'm doing everything I supposed to. And I'm asking that you can touch my family some way and help them get a lawyer for me and see I'm a changed individual. And I'm at church. I'm on my knees praying this to God. So I ain't have a motion in court for like 2 years. So I'm just doing my time. And the only way you can't do life, you're going to come home in a box. So on Thursday, I'm on a dorm. They got a call out sheet. I'm on there for legal mail. So I ain't sweating it when they say legal mail, because I don't have no motion in court. So a lot of dudes in there like, boy, you got legal mail. Hopefully it's something good. But me knowing me, I ain't got no motion in court. So I know it ain't nothing like good. So when I get there, it's a law firm out of Miami. So we get these letters a lot. Saying we're a law firm from where you can hire us if you want us to hire you to do your appeal. I don't got no money. I can't hire nobody. So it say we're a highly represented law firm. The letter said out of Miami, Florida, we have done several high profile cases. And we choose to do our law firm do one pro bono case a year, and the computer picked you. And I'm not sure if you have a lawyer or not, but we have a conference call scheduled for you for Friday.
Wow.
So I'm like, what? And it's God. God say, come to me. Don't go to human. I see your army of angels to fight for you. So when I get up there, I'm talking to the lawyer. He was like, we're going to get everybody on speaker. It's 4 lawyers. They say, Dean, we're going to all work for you. We got a highly pro law firm we work for. And we going to come up there. I'm like 9 hours away from Miami. They like, don't worry. We paying for a rental car. We'll be up there to see you next week. So they came and seen me. And now it's strategizing because I can't, I'm barred out of all courts because I done filed motions. Now they saying we're going, now the Supreme Court came out with a case saying it was illegal to sentence a juvenile to the death penalty because their mind haven't developed. So my lawyers, we go to the Supreme Court of Washington, D.C. And it was like, Dean, I'm going to be real, I'm going to be honest. Them hearing your motion, it's like picking up a rock and on the top of the mountain, dropping it and hoping it land in that bottle. That's our only shot. And Washington Supreme Court choose to hear my case. Now, they choose to hear my case. So my case up there, it been up there for like 2 years. It's in different magazines. They're not going to grant this motion, everything. So they go to Taquandra, the 11-year-old who was paralyzed. She was the only one shot. And they go to her and it was like, here's his case over here. We want you to make a statement.
Who did?
The state attorney.
Okay.
So my lawyer said, Tia made a statement for the state. It's in the newspaper. Did you read it? I'm like, no, ma'am. She was like, we'll be up there to see you next week. We'll let you read it. And I was like, oh, okay. I already knew it was something like keep him in here forever. So she was like, read it. And it like when I read it, it brought me to tears. She was like, I forgave him. And I'm hoping he changed. Everybody deserves a second chance. He made a bad choice that night. If I made that choice, I hope somebody will forgive me. So I'm asking y'all to release him and give him another chance. That was her statement to the Supreme Court. And it went a long way. Yeah.
So they settled outside of the Supreme Court.
Yes, cause I'm at work, I'm in Pride, and we've been waiting like 2 years to hear something. And I'm like, it ain't looking good. Like, it's gonna get denied. I don't really accept it. I ain't going home. I ain't never going home. I don't accept that enough. That's the honest truth. I still have faith, a lot of faith, but I don't accept I ain't going home. So a couple of my homeboy came, he say, Chico, you everywhere on the news, man. They saying they finna let you out. I said, man, what is you talking about? He said, bro, you everywhere on there. I'm telling you, they saying they finna let you out. And I'm like, you sure you don't know what you talking about? So my homeboy who work in the law library, we finna go to lunch. So you got to go back to Pride. And he was like, Greg. I'm like, what's up, Art? He say, bro, you everywhere on the news. They granted your motion. You going home. So I'm like, man, you for real? And then I told my boss, I said, I got to go to the dorm. And I went to the dorm. I can't find it. Nowhere on TV, I can't find it. I can't find it nowhere on the radio. I'm up and down. I'm like, oh, man. So I'm like, man, it can't be true because my lawyers then would have called me. They would have had a conference call. So I was like, bro, I'm telling you. So we waiting on the Rural News to come on at 6 o'clock with Diane Sawyer. And then the first thing they say, landmark case come down.
So they did rule in your case.
Yes, the Supreme Court. She was Diane Sawyer say landmark case was granted in Florida today. Craig Dean versus state of Florida, and they granted my motion. They say the state had to take me back and re-sentence me to a sentence to release me in society at a normal age because it was cruel and unusual punishment to sentence a juvenile to natural life for a non-capital crime. I mean, nobody died in my case.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, because explain to people, did you tell people that when you got that law firm, did you tell anybody?
What you mean?
When you had got that letter and that
Yeah.
team of lawyers were going to pick you up and represent you, did you tell anybody?
Nah.
Why?
Because you don't want people in your business because people will come really jugging at you and making it harder. Because now I'm in a situation I can't get in no trouble. So you ain't going to tell nobody your business. The secret, you don't give nobody nothing to come at you. I learned nobody know nothing about me in prison.
Because they're going to do what with it?
Yeah, they're going to turn that, they're going to use that against you.
They're going to try to keep you in there.
Yeah, they're going to keep you in there. They definitely going to do that.
A lot of people need to understand that. And, you know, you hear in a lot of prisons, I didn't have to deal with this in any prisons I went to, but a lot of prisons you hear that you don't even tell people you're going home.
Nah, you don't tell them. Even when I was
because they're
going
jealous.
home,
They don't want you to go home.
You'll get stuck. With mine, when I got back to go to court, we was trying to work out a plea deal the whole time instead of going in front of the judge because my lawyer was like, the judge you got kind of tough. We would rather work out a plea deal. So the state was like, we ain't going under 40 years. So I'm like, 40 years? It's like me, I got to go another 20 years. I ain't taking the 40. I'd rather go in front of like, Dean, we ain't going in front of this judge.
What I mean, worst could happen.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I ain't think I'm going home anyway. So the state go to Taquandra and they ask what she want. And she tell them, this my case, this my life. I'm the one in the wheelchair. I'm asking y'all to let him out. Y'all release him. I'm asking y'all to release him. I forgave him. That was she tell him. She tell him I forgave him.
That's beyond crazy.
Yeah, and I'm asking y'all to release him. So the state was like, you a tougher person. Even when you see the prosecutor, if you see clips when PBS News, they interviewed him and it was like I paid my debt and they went off what she wanted. Because they was like, they wouldn't let me out.
Well, because they would have had her on the stand and she would have told the judge. And that would have made a really big impact if it made it in the news that she asked to release y'all and they did it after that long. I think it would have hurt their credibility. So she really handcuffed them.
Yeah. It was
It's
on
a
the news.
blessing.
Actually, the news went to her house and was like, Dean coming back to be resentenced. And she let him know, I want him to go home. I forgave him.
What's what said? She handcuffed them.
Yeah. And
That's a blessing.
yeah. And the news was more like they understood. Like, and when I go in court, it's about my background, what I done in prison. Cause you gotta remember, with a naturalized sentence, you can't participate in no school. You ain't allowed to go to school. So I wrote, cause I like, you gotta understand how this feel when you write the principal in school and say, hey, I'm trying to get an education program so I can learn something, and they tell you, hey, it's only for people who going home. You're not going home. We can't. Yeah, so I ain't have no certificates. I ain't had none of that. And then my background, the judge ain't worrying about my background because the judge say he been on the stand too long. He know you got to survive in there. And I ain't worrying about your fights and none of
They
this.
don't. They
he said it
know.
clear.
They
He
try
know
to
what
do
it
that
is.
stuff for
Yeah.
publicity, but they know. They hear the stories. They
Yeah.
get the letters. You know how many inmates probably write judges talking about, I just got my butt taken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, thank you so much, you know what I'm saying, for doing this to
Yeah.
me. One of my other questions is for people to understand is how many people stay straight that are lifers and finally give up and just get a boy?
Man, a lot. I think probably 98%.
Really? It's that high?
It's probably about 98%. See, once you do that, you can't hang in the circle no more. You can't. You on your own now. Like, cause I ain't knocking homosexuals or whatever they do. I'm not against them at all. Whatever they do, that's on them. Their personal life. I'm not saying that, but I know you can't hang in that circle no more that we with. That I'm not for the like give my life up for you and you participating in that. We ain't around that.
Well, my main thing is so I got a problem where I won't fight a punk in prison.
Mm-mm.
The reason why is because they almost all have AIDS.
Yeah.
They all have something like, I know you can call me whatever you want. I'm not fighting you. Like, whatever you want to do. I'm not switching blood with you. I'm not busting my knuckle like that. Nelson sent me a clip just recently where they actually have like their own dorms, their own prisons and stuff now. They're so populated and it's like they do their own thing. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you tell everybody, because I've been in this situation. So they say they overturn your case. So you're really happy and you probably don't know what to think, but then something's telling you on your other shoulder, like, they're still not going to let you go.
Yeah.
You're going to have this 40 years. So it's like you get this high and then they brings it right back down.
Yeah. Because everybody in the prison saying, even the officers seeing my case on the news and it's in the newspaper. But I know what's going on because my lawyers them fighting. They like, the state ain't budging. They say they don't care what happened to Tia, you ain't going home, period. This what it is. It's 40 years or nothing. Or you go before the judge. And the judge saying he want to give you like 80. So I'm like, it don't matter. I ain't going home.
Yeah.
So my lawyer, they been negotiating with the state, trying. The state ain't budging. So my lawyers then went on a vacation. And one of my lawyers was still here. A lot of my lawyers was out of the country. Miss Sherry Swartz was still here. So she said, I'm gonna come see you this week because they asked me, do I want to take the plea? The plea was 40 years. I'm like, I'm not taking that plea. So she was like, I'm gonna give you a couple of days to think on it, to sleep on it, and I gotta come then. We'll just let the state know you're just gonna have a hearing. And when she came to see me, I'm like, it's a waste of time anyway. So she said, Dean, if I walk in that courtroom and I tell the state attorney, I would kiss your butt if you get Dean 28 years, what you would say? I say, I'll take it because I'll go home because with my game time. She say, that's your plea. I say, what? She said, that's your plea. We got a schedule that you going back to court right now. We got an emergency transport order. They're going to pick you up on Monday. It's Friday. They picking you up Monday. We got a hearing on Tuesday.
On the bus or cop car?
The cop come pick me up in Miami on Monday. So my tears fell. So Catholication saying, what happened? I said, man, I'm going home. Yeah.
How long did it take for you to meet the victim?
When I got out, not that long, probably a couple of months. The news reached out to me and was like she wanted to meet me and all that. And they made it happen
How often y'all talk?
every day.
What?
Yeah, every day.
That's a blessing.
Every day. We done been on podcasts together, everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, every
That
day.
is awesome. That's really cool. Man, I appreciate having you on the story. It's just been up and down. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You have any social media for anybody to get a hold of you?
Yes. My TikTok page is Chico Boss 81. My Facebook page is Craig Dean. My IG Instagram is Chico Boss 81. And I want to say this before I leave. I did a 360. I walk in God path. I do a lot of talking. I drive trucks. When I came home, I went and got my license, my CDLs, 2 weeks being released. I've been driving trucks over the road since I've been home, and I've been busy working. God done opened so many doors for me. I don't really be in the neighborhoods like other than going speaking to a lot of events. I be speaking. So if anybody need me, and my number, you could get me at my Instagram. My email is Dean Craig, DeanCraig, the number 404 @gmail.com. Email me. I don't have no problem coming on, reaching out to any event and kids, and just trying to use my life and help change other people for not walking down the path I once was. So I don't want to get the mixed impression of me telling my past of the individual I am today, because I'm 1,000 times a different individual, and I'm just walking in God's paths, doing everything righteous and doing everything good. And I'm just grateful to be here. I'm about to buy my own truck this month from working hard. Nobody gave me nothing when I walked out. I worked hard. You know,
There's no excuses, guys, that people that can't
Yes.
come out and change their lives, institutionalized or not. People want to use that excuse so much. And you got this man over here, and he's a black man. So if you're going to have any excuses, you got to listen to his story, because at the end of the day, it's you, and you're the only one. He became an animal in prison because he had to, okay? He had to do that, act that life. And he came out, and what'd you do when you came out?
go get a job. I
You
started
changed
working.
into another person.
Changed into a 10 times a different person.
It's not that. He changed to be in there,
Yes.
and he changed to be back in society.
Yes.
The thing is it's all here, okay? It's what you want to do. You can't have any excuses. This man didn't know probably how to drive again. This man didn't know what it felt like to touch money. I'm telling you, all these things are life-changing and so hard. I can only imagine what it felt like to go from a level 5 straight to the streets after 24 years. And you can't explain it. He can't explain it. He could tell you, but you won't understand it. So for people out there to have these excuses, just listen to a man like his story. I'm telling you.
Yes. I appreciate y'all so much and having me on here, everything. And it's just keep believing in God and keep believing in your fate, and just think for 1 second. Sometimes we follow the crowd, but don't throw your life away. If you think for 1 second, you'll walk away and you really realize what's the reason I'm finna get in this car. What's the reason I'm finna ride? You'll walk away from that problem. I wish a million times I never got in that car.
Faith is a great thing.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't matter what God you think, but all of it's great. So, well, we appreciate you coming on 10 Toes. You can catch me at 8UpJ on all my social media.
I'm on YouTube also under Second Chance After 24.